Okay, so I wanted to revisit these landing gear. I've received quite a few comments and suggestions from you guys related to how this thing is mounted. So if you look, I have it clamped on to this cross arm on the QAV. And one thing to consider is that it's on there pretty stable. In the case of a rough landing, or if this were to get clipped on something, you'll notice that it can just kind of fly right off. So what I'm going to do is incorporate a suggestion from users Jolly Swagman 2006, Douglas Roberts, and Chris Riccio on using a zip tie to hold this together. Now originally I wanted to run two zip ties per leg around the outside, and as you could see there wasn't enough. So you guys had suggested putting a little cutout right here that I could put a zip tie in, and I'm going to use this mini zip tie. Now this fluorescent yellow isn't the ideal color, but it's all I have right now. So this video is going to walk you through what I'm going to do to create that cutout. For starters, I'm just going to go ahead and measure the thickness of this mini zip tie. It's about 2.5 millimeters. So we'll make a cutout of 3 millimeters in Rhino 3D, and then I'll export it and we'll go ahead and print it on the MakerBot Replicator 2. We have our QAV landing gear, one of the legs, and we're going to make a cutout here to fit the zip tie. Now remember that the width of the zip tie was about 2.5 millimeters, so we'll make that just about 3 millimeters across to give us a little extra space. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rectangle command. I'm going to go from the center, so we'll start at the midpoint and go about 2 millimeters down, because we want to make our hole about 2 millimeters high by 3 millimeters wide. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click. Now if we look at this in the perspective view, you'll see that that sits outside of the cylinder, and what we're going to do next is select it and use the make hole command and select the surface we want to make the hole into. I'll just drag it out, and now you can see our hole. Now one other thing I'm going to do is, you'll notice this open area right here. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in just so we have more surface area for our PLA to bond to. So I'm going to use the untrim command and just select this circular area, and now that's filled in. Everything looks good, and I'm going to go ahead and export this file, accept the defaults, and in Makerware we're going to go ahead and add that design to our build plate. And for now I'm just going to print one, and we'll take a look at it. So the first thing we would need to do is we're going to go ahead and, we don't want to print with this piece up top because of the overhang there. So I'm just going to rotate it, and now we look like we're good to go for our print. See our cutout. So I'll go ahead and click make, put it on the SD card, and then we'll print it on the MakerBot Replicator 2. Okay, here we have our landing gear with our cutout. See that cutout for the zip tie. Okay, so let's give this a try. Go ahead and put it in place. I'm going to slide the gear on. Okay, so this thing is secured really well. It's not going to go anywhere unless of a tough crash, and the good thing is the zip tie will break and the landing gear will come off, hopefully before your arm breaks. So that's the process I used to add the zip tie hole. Once again, thanks to YouTube users Jolly Swagman 2006, Douglas Roberts, and Chris Riccio. Thank you guys for the suggestion. I've uploaded the new revised STL file to Thingiverse, and I'll make the source files available on garagepilots.com. And I'll go ahead and do my other legs. Hopefully I'll get some black PLA and black zip ties. I'll be all blacked out. Hope this was useful, and until next time, thanks for watching.